All right, everybody, welcome to Skeptalk Live episode number 65. That is one more than you need to play GoldenEye. Remember, slaps only, facility, no odd job.
Yes!
Put one...
Nice.
Put
Odd
one...
job is bullshit and I hate him.
Exactly. Put one in the comment stream if you think that you're old enough for Tim Allen jokes, and let's get to the panel today. So...
What's with this shade, dude?
Just, it's funny to me.
Ageism.
It's a little bit of ageism, right? You know?
A little bit.
Nice.
Once again, my lighting is still all fucked up because of the fucking weird light explosion yesterday, or Tuesday. So that will be fixed. It just takes a while for Amazon to deliver me the like foot-long light bulb that I have to use. So joining me today, for the first time, we've got Abs. Abs, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Udo?
Oh, you took it. Excellent. You came for it. I'm doing really well. Abs, we know each other through the shared nerd connection that we have. You want to say anything about yourself? What you think makes you qualified to comment on news that's not as important as it really seems?
Well, I have a social media account, and anybody with a social media account is clearly qualified to comment on whatever they want, so...
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good answer. All right, and returning again, we've got Tom. Tom, how is the evening faring for you, my nuclear friend?
Pretty good, though. I just spilled my coffee.
Oh!
So I'm cleaning that up quickly.
That's what you get for two-fisting, man.
I have a bone to pick with you, though. Okay. This thumbnail is bullshit.
Okay.
Fucking Jason and Abby are both like, hey, look, they're nice, normal, friendly people. Then I'm the goddamn wolf man.
You're the one who said use this one. And I was
well, I thought everybody would be freaky with me.
I'm using it every time from now on.
Tom, if you were going to give me the option between, like, going along with what you want and then making you stick out like a sore thumb, I'm going to go with the latter.
Yeah.
All right, Jason.
Fine.
How's the day gone for you, my friend?
Pretty good. I had a really long day at work, and then I fell asleep right when I got home and woke up like 20 minutes ago, so it's pretty awesome.
I did you a favor. I went to go change your picture on the thumbnail today. I searched your social media, found one of your most recent pictures. You have one that is not favorable. From the angle, you took you took the thing at an angle where you're kind of looking back, and because your neck is pushing up against each other, your neck is really far out, and you look like a bullfrog in it. It's fucking terrible.
Oh, what?
You can't really tell. It's you sitting on the couch with a couple of friends. And you have the phone out right in front of you, and so you're kind of looking backwards, but you had to crank your neck to get in the picture. And I was like, okay,
amazing.
I'm gonna look at this one, and then I zoomed in on it to put it up in the thing, and I'm like, oh, that looks fucking real bad. Like,
amazing.
There you go. That's the one, Abby.
Tom and I have just been meeting the corner.
We've just been making faces at each other.
All right. Let's check in with the chat. I actually haven't looked at all. Looks like we've got Twisty Top Hatter, Witless Wonder, Distended Coma, Factual Fictions. How you guys doing tonight? Let's see. Witless Wonder says made it just in time. Distended Coma and Twisty Top Hatter dropping those eyeballs. Factual Fiction just says 1. Oh yeah, okay. They're good enough for Tim Allen memes. Old enough for Tim Allen memes. Exactly. All right. Well, let's get into the news for today. And we have to do the pre-news stuff. Just as always, this is a fair use talk show, and what we're doing here is definitely criticism and definitely commentary. The other stuff is borderline and possibly something that we're doing. But well, we're gonna ride on that commentary and criticism real hard. So,
Zach,
if you'd like to help out the podcast or the talk show here, you can subscribe or you can donate. That's all fine. But if you don't want to actually add any money here is a pre-formatted tweet that will go out to your Twitter. Tell your friends what you're doing right now. Possibly bring them into our show and have them watch as well, because that's what this is for people to watch. But let's do this. so epic.
Yeah.
Factual Fictions, thank you very much for that tweet. All right, so our first story here is about the beauty industry. I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of this before, but there is a thing that you can do where you go put your feet in a tank full of tiny fish and have them clean your like dead skin cells off of your feet. You guys ever heard of this at all?
I know about this.
No.
I know the story too.
Right.
What?
For some reason, this is not called FEESH, and I don't know why. Like, but if you've ever been tempted to try out the spa treatment known as a fish pedicure, one woman's toe curling experience will have you thinking twice. This bizarre practice.
I'm already thinking twice.
Right, exactly. Justin Coma says this has been a thing for a long time. Yeah, definitely. So it involves little carp pecking away the dead skin on the surface of your feet. But while these might be, they're called doctors. The fish themselves are called doctors. This is anything but medical. A newly published case report details that a woman in her 20s that was who presented her feet to her dermatologist within a 6-month history of having abnormal toenails. She was very wondering why this was going on, but she had no family history of nail disorders and no other medical problems. But all of a sudden, her toenails fell off. And this is
It's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. Some month prior to the start of her abnormalities, she had gone to a fish pedicure treatment at a spa. This led to a case of, I'm gonna fuck this one up, onychomadesis. Onychomadesis. There we go. In which the nail plates that make up the toenail begin to halt and production of begin to halt production and separate, causing nails to fall off.
What a real nail biter.
Oh, that's disgusting. You never buy.
Literally, though, if you're the fish.
Exactly.
Yeah,
well, Jason, remember, everyone gets one bad pun per episode.
Wait, really? Shit, I'm out. I'm long since out. Like, my entire sense of humor is bad puns.
So, it turns out that this may be the first ever case linking Gaura rufa to, which is the name of the fish treatment, to onychomadesis. I'm just going to try a different way of saying that every time I come across it. It's not the first time that the tiny, not actual doctors have been accused of making people sick. With previous reports indicating...
What? No way.
Apparently, the fish pedicures have transmitted staphylococcus and mycobacteriosis, which both sound
what
awful.
The fuck are those?
Well, staphylococcus...
Microbacteriosis clearly turns you into a small person.
Isn't staphylococcus literally a staph infection?
Correct.
I swear staph infection is short for that. Yeah, that...
Yep.
Nope.
That makes sense, though, because the fish are, if they're biting away at you, they can cause, like, microabrasions.
Right, exactly. And if someone else put their feet in the water before it, and I highly doubt that they drain the tank every time, because
oh god,
that'd be terrifyingly bad for the fish, right? Like the fish live this life of we're just all like, it's time to feed, time to drown, time to get water again, time to feed, right?
So
we live, we die, we live again.
Nice.
What's up, Jason?
So the people that are putting this on, they're calling themselves doctors?
No, the fish are called doctors.
What?
Yeah. They refer to the fish as doctors.
That's actually amazing. I'm okay with that.
Factual Fiction says, oh look, I need to be healed. Better let someone dine on my flesh. But it turns out that for these kinds of reasons, despite the fishy promises of skin rejuvenation from spas that offer Gaura rufa treatments, fish pedicures are actually banned in over 10 U.S. states, as well as most of Europe.
Oh.
The fish can not be disinfected or sanitized between customers, the CDC explains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to pull the fish out and just hit them with Lysol every time. That's the worst thing.
Autoclave them and let the survivors go on.
Exactly. You end up with the strongest fish doctors.
I'm looking at my fish now, like, you're lucky.
You live a carefree existence, fish.
Yeah.
Some fish have to have jobs. So it turns out that while Garufa are omnivorous, they need to be starved of plant food before they'll consider eating the dead skin off of human feet, raising concerns
mean.
of animal mistreatment. Yep.
Yeah, that's mean.
Yeah.
Previous research also suggests that a lack of oversight of imported nibblefish can introduce outbreaks of systemic bacterial infections in animals, causing abnormal eye protrusions and hemorrhaging around the gills, mouth, and abdomen. So not only do you have, like, fucking tricked, starving, voracious fish at your feet, you also have ones that are, like, sick little mutant fish.
I think the most important part of this entire story is that they're actually called nibblefish. That was
Yeah, really, on the scale, it's like there's doctors and then there's nibblefish.
yeah.
I would,
Dr. Nibblefish.
it like
Say that slower.
it does kind of take the edge off of how bad this is, right? Like it's kind
Yeah.
of like dulling the knife.
Yeah, I guess if they're called
Yeah.
nibblers instead, like.
But I feel like if anybody's fucking stupid enough to do this and just be like, fish have healing powers on their doctors, then
Exactly.
they deserve to not have toenails.
I feel like
Yeah.
take a pumice stone to your foot if you have that much dead skin. For God's sake, just
Right.
exfoliate.
The CDC
Yeah.
advises you to
Get a
see a
petty.
board-certified
Shit, girl.
dermatologist if you have
Yeah.
any problems.
Yeah, or don't see the doctor fish, see an actual doctor.
Yeah.
This whole thing is reminding me of the raw water craze.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like,
Amazing.
here's my raw water, and it's like ridden with bacteria.
Right.
Like, all right, I'll go dunk my face in a pond.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want your blood water.
Hot dog
I want
water.
free trade raw water that is gluten free and non-GMO.
Abby, did you never hear about hot dog water?
No.
Oh, we
What?
covered it. It's
Yeah.
great.
There was
you
a
have to see this.
there was a guy in I want to say Olympia, Washington.
Oh no, I did hear about
Yeah,
this.
selling the hot dog water for $38 a liter. And
He's literally doing it as a joke.
yeah, specifically to be all like, this is a dumb health craze. And people were buying it, and he's standing there taking their $38 like, you don't deserve this $38.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, seriously, please don't buy my hot dog water. This
Right,
is so
exactly.
dumb.
Before we move on to the next story, there's actually something I forgot I wanted to cover right before we got started, because I found this out like 20 minutes ago, and I'm super excited about it. Have you guys heard of the Reddit Thanos did nothing wrong?
Yes!
Yes.
Excellent.
No, but I'm interested. I just saw the movie. I
Yeah.
didn't read the comic, just to be fair.
That's
I just
fine.
saw the movie like a week and a half ago.
Regardless,
And
reg-
I'm kind of up with that.
regardless of whether I like what they did in the movie or not, this is very
like you
funny.
don't.
So, right, I'm not a big fan of their way that they changed Thanos, but if
Yeah.
I've forgiven it and moved on. So, this subreddit, if anybody has a chance, you should definitely go join that subreddit and subscribe, because on the 7th of this month, Thanos will be snapping his finger
days.
and banning half of the people in that subreddit. So
That's amazing.
They're up to banning, like, I think it's over 150,000 people are going to get banned.
all at once. And in fact, you will, if you get banned, you will get invited to a very exclusive private Reddit called Inside the Soul Gem. So,
This is the best thing I've ever
I have to get on that.
the
Yup.
memes are
It's so good.
fantastic, and if you haven't seen it, I super suggest everybody click that link I just put in the chat. So,
I
Yes.
will say, if you haven't seen Infinity War, it is abound with spoilers.
Yes. Yes.
If you're a plebeian like me, I still haven't seen it.
Oh, well. Have you read the comics?
Actually, no. I need to.
Well, go see the movie first.
That's fair. Oh, I know one of the big things they change is why Thanos is doing it, and it's something about balancing the universe as opposed to him giving a present to his functionally estranged girlfriend, Death.
Sugar Soaky, welcome to the stream.
What's up, nerd?
Rain, welcome
I know
to the
who
stream.
that is.
Excellent. All right, so this story is about a man who says he's been banned from every John Lewis and Waitrose in the UK. Now, John Lewis and Waitrose are kind of like Sears and I guess like kind of like Fry's Electronics or something like that. You know, they sell primarily appliances, right?
Okay.
So this guy, Paul Chambers, 54, is suffers from huge problems with epilepsy, right? Having seizures. So
yeah,
he has to be very careful about what televisions he buys, because if they have problems, they can trigger his epilepsy. So he's, after returning a TV for the 12th time, because they kept, they just did not get one that wasn't giving him problems with ghosting, calibrating, and pixelating. The owners of the store have decided this is nothing to do with the guys who work there, but definitely the person who owns the store. He is now banned from every one of their stores in the United Kingdom because
he's gotta. I feel like they've got to have something that's like the equivalent to the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Yeah, you'd think.
Yeah, I would assume so. I will actually Google around and see what I can find while we're doing this, but I feel like he's got a good case. Like, on the one hand, I can understand why they'd ban him. Because, like, if you don't know, and it's just like, yeah, this fucking random dude returned a dozen TVs for no fucking reason. It's just like, okay, well, that dude's up to something shady and can get out of my store.
Sure they know why.
Yeah, exactly.
At that point,
you know what I mean? Like, don't keep him, yeah.
He walks with 2 canes, right? Because this guy has trouble getting around.
Yeah!
So the letter said, in light of your recent inquiries, we now feel it necessary and prudent to terminate our business relationship with you. This decision applies to all John Lewis department stores, johnlewis.com, and Waitrose. This will take immediate effect. Please advise we shall not process any orders you attempt to place by telephone or online channels. We have taken this decision that our firm believes that we are unable to meet your service needs, nor do we believe that our range of projects will meet your expectations, even though there are some of the products that he bought are supposed to be epileptic friendly, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Chambers said, I couldn't believe it when I opened the letter. They banned me from every John Lewis in the country, and I can't buy anything off them offline. The TVs were faulty, so I returned them. I had all sorts of problems with them, so I simply returned them. I was paying up to £900 for the TV, so they had to be right. My friend let me borrow his old TV, and it has been fine, but I would have liked to have gone back to John Lewis to buy another TV in the future, he says. So currently there is an ongoing investigation, and I just wanted to bring this up as another example for our show of the UK getting all crazy. Factual Fiction says, "Hi, I make make 4.5 billion a year, and you annoy me mildly. Kindly fuck off."
Really?
Well, here's my question. So, I mean, it seems like there's more to this story than we're getting.
Yep, this is
from probably both sides, right?
Very, very possibly.
So how many? He's done this 6 times.
It was 12
times. Sorry.
12 TVs returned to the same location, right?
Okay, that's kind of a lot, right?
Right. But if you're at the point of a medical need,
right? Yeah, and that is a bit tricky. But at the same time, you were saying some of these were supposed to work, right?
Right. Exactly.
But that's not really up to the company selling them. That's up to the company that created them.
Right. Yeah. But, I mean, if you've got a policy...
I would say that... Right. Yeah, I think banning him from the store might be a little too much. You know what I mean? That's taking it a little too far. But I do understand their side of it because they just went through 12 TVs.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And if you think somebody's abusing
for all
the
they
system,
know, might work fucking just fine, and this guy's crazy. Like, and I don't know that I.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Cultural Rogue, welcome to the show. But yeah, I mean, so basically don't know exactly what's going on. This is breaking stuff. I wanted to cover this because I think that this is going to go, going to have some fun like, this broke today. I bet that there's going to be either some funny memes coming up on this, or there's going to be some serious implications. So,
they're going to get murdered on social media. That's what's going to
happen. Exactly.
Yeah.
They're stepping on that's landmines right there.
Yeah.
So this is something we've made fun of a lot before. A decade ago, this man, Fred Haynes, was wandering the Wichita airport looking for the Nigerian prince who was supposed to be hauling 2 chestfuls of cash in order for him to meet up with him in the airport.
Amazing.
After an hour of waiting and asking around, he finally came to the realization that 65 million Nigerian dollar fortune was not what he thought he was going to be inheriting at all.
How is this the first time he's fallen for this? This can't.
Right, exactly.
There's a sucker born every minute.
But he was born in like 1902.
Right? That was a minute.
Yeah.
Just a minute.
1902 minute.
Yeah.
Turns out now he's going to be receiving the $110,000 that he was scammed out of, thanks to the work of the Kansas City Attorney General's office. So he's one of the first cases of old people getting scammed that is going to get money back.
Oh my God.
How'd they do it?
So from 2005 to 2008, swindlers hoodwinked Haynes, a self-employed handyman in Wichita, into spending thousands...
Okay, hold up.
Yep.
Out for a period of like, wait, how long? 5 years?
3 years.
3 years. Okay.
Yep. He spent thousands in pursuit of an imaginary inheritance from a Nigerian government official, a con known as the Nigerian Prince Scheme. Haynes remortgaged his house 3 times in the process of the scam.
Jesus.
Right.
Dude, just let them keep the money at that point. Sorry. That's fucking retarded. It's not their fault.
But
sorry, that's...
Oh, you know what I realized I did? I screwed up something in this entire show. You guys will learn very soon. So last year, in a settlement with the Department of Justice, Western Union admitted that it knew some of its employees had conspired with those scam artists in order to bill people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's different.
As of now, the company has set aside $586 million to create a fund to refund victims across the U.S. and Canada.
Holy shit.
I like Witless Wonder there with quotation marks. Artists.
Yeah, artists. Their royalty, excuse me.
Abby, are you interested in inheriting $65 million?
You know, it's funny, actually, I got one of those letters when I was like 13.
Mm-hmm.
I shit you not, in my mailbox, there was this weird letter from a Nigerian prince, and it was bizarre. But even at 13, I knew it was fake.
Yeah.
And it just also seemed, even if it was real, it seemed like a lot of effort for a 13-year-old. And I didn't have the kind of money that they needed.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, no, and I think the fund is excellent, but
but god damn
there's
it,
so many other things that we could raise money for, other than to help the victims of scammers.
Well,
for really, really obvious scammers.
It's not government money.
Yeah.
It's specifically the guys who are admitting that they were helping.
That's fair.
Western
Which
Union.
is
Sort of.
Yeah.
Western Union didn't help. Some of their employees helped. That's
Well,
what
they said they
we should
knew
make
their
that
employees
distinction.
helped.
They found out they did, right? And that's why this was created. That's
I thought it was like my impression was that they kind of knew and were like, shh, it's fine, it's fine.
No, the employees were in on the scam, right?
Yeah. Oh no, my impression was that like Western Union as an organization knew that there was some shady shit going on and just kind of was just like, but we're collecting our transfer fees.
Oh, is that correct, Udo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was how I heard it. Yeah.
Misunderstood. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So Western Union was aware that this was a scam, and they let it continue to
But
happen.
hey, if you're getting your 10%,
that's not chill. Okay, good. They should create that fund then.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So yeah, no.
Yeah,
don't
I still
feel
think
bad.
this guy's fucking retarded.
Oh yeah.
it's still
Like,
dumb as
retarded
shit.
Like, sorry, not
It's still-
retarded. Yeah, is mentally ill.
Very foolish.
Super fucking stupid.
Right.
And super stupid people were put on this planet for literally everybody else to make money off of. So, like, I almost applaud those con artists.
So Abs, Sugar Selkie wants to know if you wrote back.
No,
Right.
I was too riddled with social anxiety at the keep right back. But I should have done, because like I don't know if the scam has changed where you'll get emails, but if it was, I would definitely send a reply email with a screenshot of a reCAPTCHA to be like, I need you to fill this out for me, please.
Right.
Can you tell what this is, or are you a bot?
Witless Wonder says dumb as shit is not a mental illness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Well,
point.
nowadays you get the voicemails of like, "Hello, this is IRS. This is final collections notice."
Yep, I get
It's
those.
just like, fuck
daily.
off.
Have you guys
Yeah.
watched any of the fucking with scammers videos like on YouTube?
No.
I love them.
You can definitely just type that into YouTube. Just type in "fucking with scanners" or scammers, and you'll see videos of guys just spending hours fucking with those people. Right? He'll use a voice changer or something like that, and he'll be like, "My name is Ethel," right? And he'll be talking to someone who's all like, "This is the IRS. We want your money," right? Type of thing, and they'll then take them on like an adventure of like, "I've got to go on down to the 7-Eleven and get you one of those Google Play cards," right? Because I don't know how to use the credit card, right? Type of thing. And then he'll just
So amazing.
waste their time for hours. And then at the end, be all
Bless.
like, "Were you really going to take advantage of Ethel?" And like, type of thing. Super good.
I love that.
Oh
my god.
So there's a Twitch streamer that he will get those guys. He specifically targets people that call and they're like, "I'm from Windows support."
Oh my god.
Share your file system with me. And he'll
Exactly.
specifically target them and put it on Twitch and hack them while they're doing it.
Yep.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
Twisty watches it all the time.
I think my uncle was telling me actually he got one of those calls about like his Windows 95 system or whatever, and my uncle he does use Windows, but he could tell that this was a scam, and so he's like, well, my Windows looks fine.
Grizzly, thank you very much for that Twitch subscription. 7 months in a row.
Yeah. What up, Grizz?
But yeah, no, he started screwing with the guy. He's like, well, no, I'm looking at them, and they're still 2 pain. They're absolutely fine.
That Subtrain Witness Wonder, thank you very much for the subscription with Twitch Prime. I appreciate you very much. Sorry to interrupt what you were doing, but it's hype time, so gotta do it sometimes.
It's important. I just see like JM's elbow in Tom's screen.
She got MVP in HOTS and wanted to tell me.
Awesome.
Oh my god.
All right, well, we're gonna move on from this story. And I did fuck up by forgetting to do any of the questions here, but I realized that I could edit the slide deck while we were live, and I did. So, Abby, could you tell us what is your worst time in customer service?
Actually, being a customer or being the service person?
If customer service was involved, when was the worst time?
I am going to put this in very...
And chat, feel free to ring in too, anytime you want.
Very vague terms. So I don't get in trouble. But I provide technical support for students.
Mm-hmm.
And with
What
certain
up? I know how that goes.
with certain with a specific set of like programs they have to do online. And we can't get as in-depth a look at the actual program, so if they have a problem with the content, we send them over to our tech support line. Mm-hmm. This person called me 3 times. Each time it was, I completed one of the modules. Okay.
Right.
Now what? You go on to the next one. Okay, and then am I done after that? Well, no, because you're on Module 1.
Exactly.
There's 13. So this guy drained like I think 2 hours. And
Right.
He's like, I don't get it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't
Can you
literally
fucking
talk
count
to
to 13?
the actual developers.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually got like afraid of my phone a little bit, because this guy would keep calling me like after every single time that like they completed something. So like every 10 to 15 minutes, I get a phone call. Oh, that was probably my worst time ever doing tech support
Excellent.
with my current job.
All right, Tom, what was the worst time you've ever had in customer service?
So at one point I worked at a poolside snack bar at a country club as a like cook/cashier, and oh my god, those people treated us like we were fucking babysitters for their spoiled, rotten little shit spawn. And there was this one kid who we threw out on a regular basis because his favorite thing to do was to come in and scream at us about how no, his mom hadn't set a limit for him, and then we literally had his mom on speed dial, and would call her up and be like, "Hey, yeah, Joey told us his limit's removed." No, that's bullshit. Joey's lying. Joey, quit lying. So then, at that point, to escalate, he would grab the salt and pepper shakers and unscrew them and sling salt and pepper everywhere so we'd have to clean it up. I hated that child. I hated that kid with a fucking passion.
That's amazing.
All right, Jason, what was your worst customer service experience?
Yeah, I can't really talk about like clients and stuff.
Yeah, that's
I can, on the other hand, say that I don't have a single worst time that I've ever had to deal with it, aside from like every fucking time I've ever called Comcast, and I'm sure we all have this fucking issue, but
yeah.
I have to do it in like 2 days again because my roommate's moving out, and I'm just not looking forward to spending an hour and a half telling them why $100 for the same internet I could get in Portland for like 30 is fucking not like a racket. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
Fuck you. Like,
right.
you don't have to charge as much. I hate you.
We'll check in with what the chat has to say, and while I'm reading off what the chat has to say, if you you guys got to pick one of the 3 stories because I've got too many of them. Do you guys want to hear about blood, terrorism, or Spider-Man? And
Spider-Man.
Are they not all related?
They're all different.
The bloody terrorist known as Spider-Man.
Witless Wonder says, I had to stop a fist fight between 2 prostitutes while working at a cashier at a convenience store 3 summers ago. Sugar Selkie says, an old woman screaming at me because I tried to hand her a jar of ranch dressing she'd asked for instead of putting it on the top shelf and letting her own osteoporosis-riddled self reach for it. Factual Fiction says, doing support for a major video game console manufacturer after Black Ops 2 came out, and we had having them cold transfer back to us every time we transferred them out to them because the game was broken and they didn't want to talk to angry customers.
Oh, those
Oh
assholes.
my god.
Shit, that's dick.
Grizzly says, dealing with a prank caller all day long, kept calling in with different names and numbers. I finally lost him and called him out on it. And Witless Wonder says that, or when a prank caller called for a dinkle-shaped pizza and stayed on the line for 2 hours as we were discussing the ways we could do it, just for them to back out and not order one. We were quite annoyed. All right, so we've got...
correct way to do a dinkle pizza. I'm sorry, bud.
We've got 2 for terrorism there.
Boo.
Abs, do you know which one you want to hear?
I would like to hear about terrorism.
Okay, I think that makes 3 for terrorism.
Traitor!
So terrorism, I was working as a tech support agent, and a guy called in, and the first thing he said once I asked him to describe his problem was, because the terror level in the U.S. has gone up, and I am of Middle Eastern descent, you are denying me updates to my program. That call went on for 8.5 hours and was the first call I took that day. So through my lunch, through all my breaks, and half hour after I was supposed to be off of work, I was dealing with a guy that I had to talk down into I had to convince him that we in fact do not know anything about his ethnicity, and that our program cannot detect his ethnicity in order to to prevent him from receiving the updates that he had blocked in his own firewall.
Holy shit.
It was so fucking funny. I was just for hours trying to tell him, let's go into the firewall settings and make sure that that's not blocked. After 8.5 hours, he finally did, and we unblocked it, and he instantly updated. It was harrowing.
Did he at least apologize?
No, he hung up and then never called back. But
of course he did.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But can I say, did you get an award for that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you get overtime?
No overtime, because they actually just made me not come in for another half an hour the next day. But Damn, Aerolot, thank you very much for that subscription with Twitch Prime.
Hey, new sub!
Welcome to the show. I was just gonna say, Aerolot, welcome to the stream. All right, we'll move on to the next story because this one I'm pretty excited about. A self-styled traditional healer in Nigeria has died after one of his clients tested his bulletproof charms on him.
Amazing. The best. Absolute best.
I shouldn't laugh. I feel like that's...
I'll
laugh, fuck it.
If you take any sort of political anything out of it, it's still a witch doctor who was trying to sell bulletproof charms. Yeah. So that's the thing we're focusing on here. Chinaka Aduzoe, 26, was killed after instructing a man to shoot him as he was wearing the charms around his neck. Police in the country's southeastern Imo state, say that the client has been arrested on suspicion of murder. The charms are popular in Nigeria, where traditional healers are consulted for cures for various ailments, but there have been several reports of people being killed after testing bulletproof charms and medicines.
I've got a bulletproof charm. It's vest-shaped.
I'm sorry, I still can't get over the fact that someone was shot in the emo state. I shouldn't
the official
go there,
band
but...
My Chemical Romance.
Exactly. The country.
You're just like holding your Tokyo Hotel CD up, like, all right, pull the trigger.
Also, Trav Strong that you know their album names.
Aerolot says you think you tested in a non-fatal
I don't
place.
deny my past.
Exactly. So the country's backstreet dentist potions doctors take on traditional healers in Kenya. A young man had gone to the healer to prepare the bulletproof charms for him, which the native doctor did. And then a villager, or that's what a villager told the Punch newspaper. But to prove the efficacy of the new charms, he positioned and handed over a gun to the customer. That is when tragedy struck. In January...
In the shape of a bullet.
Exactly.
That's when comedy struck.
Exactly. In January, a traditional medicine seller was arrested after a man drank a bullet-repelling liquid and then was shot dead.
Amazing.
Exactly. The seller in northwestern Nigeria reportedly assured the man that he could not die if he was shot.
I like what
Why can't we test products like that here?
Right, exactly. Mad Bear Pig says
Like,
that
Dr. Oz would be
Nightshade-
dead as fuck at this point. Dude. Dr. Oz would have died, like, 10
Is
years
that-
ago.
This bona fide fat burner. Oh god.
Yeah.
At least with like the story, the most recent story, it's the self-proclaimed healer who's dying and not one of the
Right.
customers.
Exactly.
Because yes,
It's the best.
you know, say what you will about healers, witch doctors, whatever, and purchasing from them, you're well within your right to do that. You shouldn't have to get shot.
Yeah.
Factual Fiction says the upside is you're only ever proven wrong once. That won't hold up as scientific evidence.
Jesus.
Yeah, you can't establish that P greater than 0.95.
Exactly. All right. This next one is this is a trigger warning for people who get offended about stuff, but
I think that last one had
I
a
don't
trigger
think
involved.
yeah, that's very true. That is very true.
Yeah.
But so did you guys hear about what happened yesterday with Facebook's algorithms?
No.
No.
Jason, did you?
Oh, yeah.
So Facebook's
I was like,
algorithms.
you guys are not helping yourself.
Exactly. Facebook's algorithms ruled that parts of the U.S. Declaration of Independence are hate speech and has removed excerpts from them from being posted on the platform.
On the 4th of fucking July?
Right. Oh, it's actually on the 3rd that it happened, but very
Oh,
close.
okay.
Yeah.
Close. No, it's good.
I saw so many mad fucking "This is America" posts yesterday. It's just like, calm the fuck down.
Exactly. A robot got mad. It's okay. It happened.
Yeah, it's
Right.
an
Yeah.
algorithm that has problem.
Right. And no one went copy paste. This is terrorism. It was definitely a robot that was all like, I have detected words, and I am scared of these words. In the run up to Independence Day, a
I'm
U.S.
triggered.
a U.S. community paper based in Texas had been posting small daily chunks of the historic document on its Facebook page. The issue part was the part that referred to merciless Indian savages. And Facebook later apologized and allowed the posting. The Liberty County Vindicator, which is currently unavailable in the European Union, had been sharing excerpts from America's founding documents to its Facebook page in an attempt to encourage historical literacy amongst its readers. Part 10 didn't appear, with the paper receiving a notice from Facebook saying that its post went against the standards on hate speech.
I can see how that would happen.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah. That's that's definitely like, I don't know. I probably would have just posted images of the excerpts from the
Right,
document
yeah.
because it is like
Yes.
genuinely tougher for the algorithm to detect.
Exactly.
I don't know. I also just kind of find it funny because this just reminds me of what NPR did on Twitter last year around the 4th of July, where they tweeted chunks of the Declaration of Independence, and a bunch of individuals on Twitter who leaned a certain direction politically
Liberals are
got
starting a war.
incredibly offended
Yeah.
Civil War
because
2!
they thought that NPR was attacking the commander-in-chief.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So unfortunately,
You can call them the alt-right here. It's okay.
right.
That's
You don't, have to
true.
say, you don't have to be. Yeah. No, it's okay. Nobody likes the alt-right. Not even.
Well, no, but I figured I'd
Sick Thanos on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't have to go away.
So it looks like the Facebook said it looks like we made a mistake and removed something that you posted on Facebook that didn't match our community standards. The company told the Vindicator, "We want to apologize and let you know that we've restored your content and removed any blocks on your account related to this correction or incorrect action." On a blog post, assistant editor of political magazine Reason, the political magazine is called Reason. The guy's name is Kristen Buskitsky. Said that the decision demonstrated the problem with automated searches for hate speech, which it does. A robot trained to spot politically incorrect language isn't smart enough to detect when that language is part of a historically significant document.
And that's fair. That is definitely fair. At the same time, I really think it would do them a lot of good to, like, because the way you build, and essentially it's an algorithm, right? But then you give it a test set, and then you essentially train the algorithm with like words to recognize. Like most of us understand that. So like it is 100% possible on Facebook side to literally be like exclude, you know, these documents.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
But
I could easily train it to do that.
But in order to train an AI, you've got to start a few Twitter wars. So, I mean,
that's fair.
I also could see like a human doing this who like wasn't super necessarily historically literate and didn't read too deeply into it, just being like, "Oh, Indian savages kick."
Well, and that's the thing too for me, because I can absolutely see how the algorithm is like can detect like words in sequence. Otherwise, if you take that phrase and you break it up and you scatter that word, you know, or those words throughout different kinds of posts, those remain, you know, intact. So it kind of depends on the algorithm they use.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and just like in general, just like the phrase "merciless Indian savages" without a whole lot of context is just like, wow, that is racist as fuck.
Right.
Yep.
What the hell?
Yeah, you gotta
think about
it.
Even with contact, it is racist as hell.
That was 200 years ago when everyone was racist as heck. It specifically, right?
Yeah. And but quoting it for the historical value of replicating the document is in and of itself not racist.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
You mentioned it.
Until the robots come. So
says a white
we call them androids, thank you very much.
All right. So have you guys heard of the film Collie the Killer?
No.
So it's a new film by Sony Entertainment. And they just recently tried to put the trailer for the limited release of Collie the Killer up on YouTube to encourage viewers to watch the movie on Blu-ray and on streaming platforms. But instead, they accidentally posted the entire film. So
fucking awesome.
Collie the Killer is a violent crime drama that, based on the actual trailer, seems to draw a lot of influence from westerns and 70s exploitation films. But it was supposed to be released on DVD earlier, right? But in an odd reverse order world in some indie films, it's not slated for theatrical release until later this year. In any case, this is not an example of the film being unavailable till it suddenly appeared on YouTube. Clocking in at a 1 hour, 30-minute feature length, the video has since been removed, but it stayed up for several hours, which was way longer enough for Reddit to get a hold of it.
Right. Here's my question.
Yeah.
This shit happens like, I don't know, several times a year, right?
Yep, too often.
I can see Abby just dying.
Yeah.
I manage social media for a living, so I'm actually turning inside out.
Yeah.
You have if you're an entertainment company, you have a paid position, you have someone who is literally making money, making their living, posting your social media content. That includes your YouTube content. You also have your production team who is sending the codecs of your movie to your social media guy or of your trailer. So somehow someone either sent the wrong file and someone just blindly posted it, but didn't notice that the runtime is way longer than your trailer, or they just got the right footage and then they just ignored it. Like, something went wrong that shouldn't have gone wrong based on it would have taken hours to post.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
YouTube management is the same. The back end is the same for every single company. Oh my god! How do you not realize?
It takes me half a day to get an episode of Skeptalk uploaded to YouTube. Right?
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
And because a trailer should take with decent internet, maybe depending on your resolution and stuff, maybe around 10 minutes, because a lot of stuff is coming out in 4K now. But your trailer is going to average around 3-ish minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone else talk.
Ridiculous.
No. You hit the nail on the head.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
and like everybody has a process that they work when you upload or when you like check documentation or anything. And like what fucking blows my mind is somebody would have had to have gone through all of that and then like made a mistake at every fucking point of the way.
Right.
That's insane. And why also, like a social media person to have the full movie in the first place? That should never, ever be a thing.
Well, here's the biggest thing.
The people work in social media. It's like that's how you get your shit leaked. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like, well, here's the biggest thing, right? They posted it and then never looked again for hours.
Yeah, that's no, because like social media, when you think about it, is a very cute kind of mild form of cybersecurity for your business.
Yeah.
Because again, like especially if in entertainment, that's how your shit gets leaked, like Jason said. And like you at least could, if you can pay someone to do your social media, or you have the money to make a movie, you can pay someone to act as a second set of eyes to be like, hey, this trailer is like over an hour long. Did I upload the right thing?
Maybe I should watch it for a second.
Hey, dude, did you get that trailer uploaded by the due date on Monday? Oh, yeah, here's the link. This is not the trailer. Like,
yeah. Exactly.
Oh.
All right.
Yep.
So, our next question here is, have you ever experienced, in quotation, magic? And to give you guys an example of what this question is as asking here, I was once taken for $40 by a man with 3 cups and a fucking ball. When
Nice.
I was much younger, right? I was in Portland, and there was a guy. I was traveling with a bunch of trade school friends, and I saw this guy who was doing the cup trick. And honestly, I had never seen it in real life. I was like, this is only in movies, right? And I watched him go a couple of times, and I was like, oh, that's easy to follow, right? And then I was like, okay, well, I got a $20 bill. And then I lose that $20 bill immediately. And I'm all like, that's fucking bullshit.
No, you did not double or nothing.
Bullshit. I totally double or nothing, right? And then I was all like, you know what? I no longer believe in magic. That man is a dark sorcerer.
Amazing.
But that's the kind of question we're asking here. Has anybody ever experienced the magic in quotation mark? And we'll start with Tom. Have you ever experienced the magic? All right.
Nope.
You never like gone to see a magic man?
No, I actually want to though.
Yeah. I suggest Penn and Teller. It's very funny.
I love practical illusions. I actually really want to learn to do like a good job of like the quarter behind the ear pull to screw with my niece and nephews.
Right.
I literally just want to fuck with small children with it and just blow their little minds.
I just read Witless Wonder's comment here. He says, does eating a pot cookie and doing 3 dabs at a LARP count as magic? And
Yeah.
Amazing.
I suppose.
That's so funny.
Factual Fiction says that the cup and balls will fuck you up. I saw Penn and Teller at Vegas once. The bullet trick is haunting. All right, Jason, have you ever experienced magic?
Not in this way.
All right.
But I did believe in religion, so there was that.
All right, Abby, what do you think?
It's not so much like I've never gone and seen like a magic show, but the closest thing like to magic for me, like especially like, growing up, was the street performers in Portland who would do the statue gig. I had never seen any performance like that before, and this guy stood out in front of Pioneer Courthouse Square for a couple of years in the wintertime.
Right.
Totally coated head to toe in silver body paint, but he would be just completely motionless. So you put the quarter in or whatever, and he'll like lean down and shake your hand, and then he'll immediately go back to just being still. And he would stand there for hours, but you couldn't see him like breathe. You couldn't see him like sweat. It's weird and unnerving, but also it's something that like I admire the shit out of.
Right. Descendant Coma says, I played a lot of Magic the Gathering. Does that count? And no, that is an addiction, and you need to seek professional help. Cardboard crack is cardboard crack kills.
Actually, I gotta revise my answer if we have time.
Yep, go ahead. We got plenty of time.
Well, I actually remember when I was a kid, we went to some like 4th of July thing with my dad's union, down by the riverfront in the town I grew up in, and they had a card magician who did the most crazy card tricks. And I swear a bunch of his setup was he would just sit there and like fiddle with the deck and kind of like bounce 4 stacks of cards back and forth across his hands while he told stories. And I don't actually know if this is true, but I swear to God, the way he was doing his tricks was he was doing deck setup while telling his stories like by feel. And it was the coolest fucking thing.
That's cool.
Yeah. Is that what Aerolot's talking about? The deck of cards storytelling trick?
Oh yeah, there are a lot of variants on various deck of cards tricks. My favorite one my favorite actual trick that I know is you put like a millimeter of the skin of your thumb in between the 2 halves of the deck when somebody cuts it, so you can keep hold of the cut and uncut it to get your stack back.
Okay.
And you just do it while people are distracted, and you uncut the deck, and you have a perfect deck again that's preset for the trick.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's a really, really good sleight of hand.
All right. So our next story is about how millennials ruin everything. So a few years ago, small indie labels started making new releases available on cassette tape. But they're taking it one step too far, in my opinion. And they're now releasing new singles on 3.5 floppies.
Nope.
That is the dumbest damn thing.
No.
That's just fucking stupid.
No.
That's fucking awesome.
That is some hipster shit.
Yep, dude.
As reported by Rolling Stone, there's a new archaic music format in town, 3.5 floppy disks that are preloaded with only music suited for low-tech vehicles of nostalgia. And you guys want to take a guess at what kind of music is being released on this?
8-bit.
All right, what do you think, Tom?
I dig 8-bit as an answer, yeah.
All right,
I dig that too.
It's vaporware. Or vaporwave, sorry, vaporwave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
I've heard some vaporwave, I believe.
It's close to 8-bit as you can get without it being 8-bit, right? But it's pretty close. So floppies are cheaper than cassettes, and they don't have to be tediously doubled. They look appealing, and they're available in lots of colors and have cool designs, says Matthew Isolm of the vaporwave label Power Lunch. Of course, these thin plastic discs can only hold about 11.5 minutes of highly compressed music. But that doesn't seem to bother its dedicated vaporwave fanatics. The spacey, sample-heavy genre has always been associated with outdated physical media, and the move to floppy disks releases seems natural for them. And Descendicoma says, I hate this person. Fuck you.
Yeah, vaporwave is real, like, it's kind of like chill 80s-y music.
With lots
if I recall correctly.
With lots of Tim Allen jokes in the middle of it. Like, not even joking. Like, they'll totally, you can get a vaporwave that's just a bunch of... Yeah, exactly. Factual
So wait,
fiction.
so
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so they are selling the floppy disk with the music on it.
Right. You guys want to what was the quote from the article? The like natural progression away from physical media. For vaporwave, yes.
It is still physical media.
Yep.
You are selling a physical product.
All right, and so our next question here, Abby, do you want to take a swing at how much you think these are running?
Oh.
3-song discs from their favorite artists. And it's a used floppy drive. And a handful of 3-song discs is what you buy.
I'm afraid to guess like too high, but I'm even more afraid to guess too low. I'm gonna say like around 25.
Okay. Tom, what do you think?
I was gonna go with like 100.
What do you think, Jason?
$45, $5 for the floppy disk, and $40 for the hot dog water that comes with it.
I've been thinking of hot dog water this whole time too.
Does it come in a raw water bundle?
Factual Fictions
Yeah.
is the closest with the guess of 1999. They're $20 for a used floppy drive and a handful of 3-song discs.
I was gonna say they don't dare make it more than the average price of vinyl.
Exactly.
Like for anyone who wants to be a collector of physical sound. Ugh.
All right. So,
where did you get used floppies in 2018? Is my question.
Oh, it's used floppy disks or drives. They're getting new floppies because floppies are actually still produced for some reason.
Why? Holy shit.
Organizational inertia is my guess.
Right.
Literally only for the government. That's the only reason.
No, my guess was actually going to be when airports like never update their software. When I worked at a car rental company for a few years, we used software that legit was monochrome and did not accept any form of mouse input.
What the fuck?
Yep. And this was past 10 years. I think at this point it would have been 8 years ago. And they had no plans to update.
Why not just buy Windows and buy Excel and then make it yourself?
Oh, and it was like run inside of an MS-DOS virtual box inside of Windows. It was
Jesus.
Or something ridiculous like that. It was the dumbest thing. But it was clear the software was like minimum 20 years old, 10 years ago, and I would be astonished if they had switched. Or honestly, also in potentially maybe some companies in nuclear, because we're so anal retentive about verification and validation of anything, it takes years to decades before stuff actually spreads through the industry.
That's disturbing.
It's because they want to put stuff through like honestly like 10+ years of bug testing before it really gets accepted as an industry standard. It takes that fucking long for stuff to propagate.
Yeah, so they're just going to use these 3.5s. Better, it's time to install the security software. Box comes this long. You're all cook chunk, cut chunk. I once installed Windows 3.11 off of it was like 45 discs because that's how it came. There's 45 3.5 discs, and they contained Windows 3.11 amongst all of them. It was fantastic.
Good lord.
Yep.
That ain't right.
Or not Windows 3.11, it was Windows 95. Windows 95. From a 3.11 machine to 95. But yeah. All right. So we're going to move on to this next story. This is a YouTube story. This is Paul Davids. He thought he'd seen it all when he came to YouTube's copyright protection system. This Dutch YouTuber's most popular videos include him playing famous guitar riffs, comparing different instruments, and teaching various skills and techniques. And just like all the music YouTubers out there, he explained in a video, once in a while he gets an email stating that he's infringing on someone's copyrighted material. Paul had been contacted by YouTube to advise him that one of his videos was flagged for copyright infringement. But in his own words, this was a little different. The copyright that he apparently infringed on was his own. It said that the song that he was infringing on, he found it very shocking. Someone took his track, added vocals and guitar to make it their own track, uploaded it to YouTube, and then he got a copyright infringement for the original song that the guy stole.
What the?
I have nothing nice to say about YouTube in general, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the things that they have done to YouTubers, especially
MS Brandy, welcome to the show.
Who wants blah, blah, people that want to like monetize their content, oh my god, the hoops that they have to jump through, and the amount of times that their stuff gets banned or flagged or demonetized.
Right.
This show is radically different than the way it was at first.
Yeah.
Because of YouTube's policy.
Yeah.
To ban people that we're trying to make videos about skepticism. Like,
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we were.
YouTube has killed itself.
Yeah, we kept trying to, we were doing commentary on people being crazy, and we would get dinged constantly. They're all like, wait, that guy has the right to be crazy, and you don't have the right to say anything about it.
I was gonna say, did I just prematurely flag this video because I said, and I quote, "I have nothing nice to say about YouTube"?
No.
Our Google is gonna get mad.
Well,
thought police on their way.
It's possible, right? And it's very possible. I mean, we've done a lot of different things. But
The penis statue. That was Twitch, though. That was Twitch.
Oh man.
That's fair enough, though.
Now I know where I can go
Right.
find some good stuff on YouTube.
Right.
But yeah, so that was the entire point on this story. This story, YouTube's AI is going crazy and dinging people for their own songs, and not even paying attention to upload dates, because the guy had uploaded the song about months to a year before this guy ripped the track off of YouTube, made a new song, and then uploaded his own song, his own song, and then it got him.
Do you think that do you think that the YouTube AI and the Facebook AI like get together after work for drinks and just talk about all the weird shit that they do to people?
Maybe. That's if they can get out of the dungeon.
Yeah.
We should talk about the things you've seen sometime.
Oh, you wouldn't believe it. Holy shit. Like, some of the stuff that doesn't make it on this show, I'm like, that's not fun. I just can't do this anymore, right? Type of thing. Like, there's always this video, like, I'm reading through something with a catchy title, right? And then I'm all like, this story's horrifying. Like, shit.
Yeah.
I was like, and then I have to make choices. Like this story right now, I don't care what your political ideology is for this story.
I like that you're doing this story. I just want to say.
Right, and I don't care.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't care what your political ideology is. I'm not commenting on the political ideology. I am commenting on when someone does something stupid, and I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
So a senior official of the Iranian army has raised eyebrows by accusing the country's arch rival Israel of stealing its clouds.
So amazing.
The senior military officer announced that with the changing weather pattern in the country is because Israel is preventing clouds from entering Iran and releasing the rain therein. Yes, you read it right. This is not an extract from a science fiction novel, reads the article. We've got a follow coming in from Shane62. Welcome to the Illuminati, taking over the world one follow at a time. But here's the rest of this story. On Monday, addressing a press conference, Brigadier General Golem Reza Jalali, head of Iran's civil defense organization, said that the changing weather pattern in the country is suspect. Foreign interference is suspected to have played a role in climate change. Israel and another country in the region have joint teams that work together to ensure that clouds entering Iranian skies are unable to release rain. He was quoted as saying. He also claimed that scientific studies in Iran have confirmed this. On top of that, we're facing the issue of cloud and snow theft, citing that showing that above 2,200 meters, all mountainous areas between Afghanistan and the Mediterranean are now covered in snow, except for Iran. However, to the embarrassment of that military officer, the meteorology department in Iran has contradicted him. Ahad Vazafe, I probably messed that up really bad, but Vazafi, V-A-Z-I-F-E, head of Iran's meteorological department, told the ISNA, it's not possible for countries to steal snow or clouds. and that General Jalali has documents of which they are not aware of.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
The fact that your meteorologist has to actually explain that
Right.
you can't
You can't
steal
steal
like these episodes. When you first like gave the overview of this article, I was like, man, these episodes of Welcome to Night Vale are getting too wild for me.
Right.
I gotta sit down.
I mean, despite like the political shit with this, I just want to say, I mean, this is what happens when you have people who believe in magic literally running your shit. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's not that crazy to them. They're like, somebody stealing weather isn't crazy
Right.
at all.
Exactly.
I've read the Quran, and there's way crazier shit in that shit.
Right. Erelot says they lassoed them down and lassoed and tied them down, I promise. Cultural Rogue says humans struggle with circumstantial information. Our programs we use for things that are circumstantial are bound to have flaws. Clouds didn't have a passport, says Factual Fictions. They've got really big fans that just blow them away, says Erelot. Oh man,
Snowball.
I hate that.
The snowball.
God, fuck that guy. How do you explain this snowball?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right. So after this story, if you could steal weather, we'll start with Jason. What weather would you steal, and
Nice.
from where?
Oh, dude, fucking San Diego or New Zealand, like, and that would be their like perfect 70-degree temperature with barely any rain and great fucking wind from ocean. I love it all.
Yeah.
All right, Abby, if you could steal the weather, what would you take, and from where?
That's really tough because I'm a person of extremes. So one person wants to steal all of the weather from like the southern US and just light everything on fire. The other person wants me to agree with like Jason 100%. Like just bring on that like I'll probably go with that one. Just bring on that like nice consistent climate, just some of that coastal air. I like it. I've been living in the valley too long. It's
Right. All right, Tom, what do you think?
I would actually steal. It is one of two things about Ohio that I actually miss, other than people, like other than my friends from back east. Thunderstorms. We don't get a whole lot of thunderstorms out here in Oregon, and growing up, every summer, thunderstorm like once a week, and I miss them. Yeah, I miss my Midwestern thunderstorms. They were great.
I think that I'm thinking of any place basically in Canada, so we could knock this place down a couple of degrees. It's always just too warm.
Yep.
I just want it.
I need to go for some more snow.
I just want it to be frigid as dinkles all day long here.
How frigid are your dinkles?
Quite.
Don't ask a man about the frigidity of his dingle.
Yeah, that's
Well, now we're discussing dinkle frigidity.
That's always.
It's just fun to say.
it's weirder every episode.
Exactly. Have you guys heard about the soccer team in Thailand? The big situation that's going on over there.
No.
The super young soccer
the
team.
kids.
Yeah. So Jason's heard about it.
Yeah, it's
Tom and Abby, have you guys heard about it?
No.
Okay. Well, Jason, did you hear about the positive news that they found him?
yeah, recently.
Yeah, and they're all okay. Like,
Yeah.
but anyway, so in Thailand, 13 people went missing on June 23rd, and it was a soccer team of boys aged 11 to 16 and their 25-year-old coach. They disappeared when they went exploring the Tom Luang Nang Non caves.
The Tom Cave.
Exactly. In Chiang Rai
Ew.
province, after they had a soccer game. Now, this is a place that the local kids would go often. It was a fun place to explore, things to run around. Problem is, while they were inside exploring, monsoon season hit all of a sudden. By the time that they were done exploring, they went back and found 16 feet of water in one of the caves that was many, many ways into the caves, right? So the caves would go up and down, and they had to go, type of thing. So finding 16 feet of water means that there's a lot more water past that. So a huge amount of international help came to help these guys, including a British team of divers who were helping out. And I think it was yesterday they discovered the boys still alive in that cave, and they're able to rescue. They're not yet, but they were able to bring them things to get warm, and brought them food, and brought them light, and brought them toiletries and everything they need to do, because the kids aren't in any shape to go scuba diving in what it took in monsoon waters in a cave, right?
Yeah.
So
I was reading they were training them.
Right, exactly. And they're
a lot of them don't know how to swim either.
Yeah, and they're trying to get the kids in shape to be able to rescue them, and they're possibly being able to pump water out, things like that. That's not what this story is about, though. What this story is about is that the Tourism Authority of Thailand has now begun plans to promote Tham Luang Cave as a key attraction after the missing football team was found.
Wow.
Yeah.
Too soon, bro.
Way too soon.
It's not even over yet. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. So
how would that even be a thing to go see?
That's just rude.
Exactly. Well, I mean, the whole deal is that they just be like, this is the cave where the kids miraculously survived.
Yeah.
Squabbly says not soon enough. Wow.
Gotta send in the tourists to rescue them.
Exactly. Factual fiction says Thailand, come for the food, stay for the drown in a cave.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Monsoon enough. God, Jesus. All right. She's the tourism department. Mrs. Karuna said that people may want to travel and activity information before visiting the area, and the agency is ready to work out a route to the cave and other destinations in Chiang Rai. The tranquil and beautiful cave at Kun Nam Nang Non Forest Park in Mae Sai district is suited for the summer season, but permission from authorities is needed before they allow people to enter in the rainy season. The Tourism Authority is considering creating a new route not only to promote that specific cave, but also nearby communities, such as the village that makes mulberry tree paper and a community that produces seed tea. But this story was basically an excuse for us to say too soon, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Erlot says, honey, where do you want to go on holiday this year? Oh, I heard about this lovely place to drown. Let's go there.
Right.
All right. So a man who has realized his car was on fire drove it to a nearby fire station for crews to put it out.
Relatable.
Nice.
The silver Mercedes was driven by a man in his 40s to Nailsworth Fire Station in Gloucestershire on Thursday, and firefighters had to deal with it. Richard Eskine, who lives nearby, said that the man was fairly relaxed and joking that his sausages were going to be burnt. The fire and rescue service said that the drivers should pull over and get out if your car is on fire. Mr. Eskine said he rushed down to the town's fire station after hearing a loud bang accompanied by a big puff of smoke and a flash of light. The driver was a middle-aged man and he told me that he was nearby when he realized his car was on fire. So he got into the car and drove it to the fire station so it could be put out.
What the hell?
So it wasn't even like driving along, all of a sudden it's on fire. It's, oh, my car's on fire. I'd better get in and drive away.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
So it turns out when he got to the fire station, the on-call crew wasn't there. But they were able to arrive within minutes after people at the fire station said, "Hey, somebody drove a flaming car here."
Yeah. You might want to come put this car out.
I feel like the firefighters are like, well, shit, normally we go to the fire. Since when does it come to us?
Right. Efficiency.
Factual Fiction says, "Hey, firefighters, does it look like my car has too much fire? I want to make sure I have the right amount of fire." Sandy-Coma wants to know if his sausages means his dinkle, and I don't think so. British people are far too serious for that.
Plus, they also use sausage as a term of endearment over there.
Right, exactly.
Buying a sausage.
Talk about dinkles some more.
Exactly. So, this article is a advertisement to never go around construction signs or move them out of the way and go through a work zone. It's a simple request that the Minnesota Department of Transportation would like people to get after they shared this photo of a car's tracked going through 1,000 feet of freshly poured concrete.
Asshole.
That is a dinkle move.
Exactly. Yep. MNDOT didn't specify where it happened, but the driver was given a ticket and an insurance claim. This is why work zones are barricaded with barricades, signs, cones, etc. The motorist drove 1,000+ feet through fresh concrete. Don't make this costly mistake and never go around a construction signs to move or to enter work zone. The best part about this entire story is some of the Twitter comments. And user Trevor Anabo said that, "I work for Schaefer Construction, and we had a fuel truck from another company do this, but it was only like 90 feet. And that cost $60,000 to repair."
Why?
Well, I mean, because you have to get everybody, you have to dig it
out.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to rip it up.
Yeah.
Because if you patch it, you'll just get uneven.
Damn it, you're right.
Yeah.
Everything.
And then you
That's
got to
so
pay for
fucking
everybody
bullshit.
to work for that. So salaries, you've got to,
Yeah.
And then
I get it. I would just like put it right over it.
just
Like
smooth it on
it's
out.
smell is fit in. Yeah.
But yeah, estimate like if the concrete's offhand, I don't know how thick roads are, but if the concrete's even a foot deep, like that's like 100,000 cubic feet of concrete.
Right.
Well, if the concrete was a foot deep, you probably wouldn't be able to get 100 feet through it, like driving in your even in an SUV.
Right.
But if it was,
You might only sink so much.
Even if it was like
regardless of
6
depth.
inches or something,
Yeah.
that's also enough that like if you leave it or patch it, that will totally wreck the cars like driving over that.
Well,
Like,
Yeah.
based on how they repair everything in my neighborhood, shouldn't they just fill that with tar? Like,
yeah,
That's
really.
insane.
But what I find it funny too is that they're in this story they mentioned like how people use barricades,
right.
and it's like, all right, just who left the barricade? And all right, just move this Okay, now I can go. Oh, it's kind of wet. Whatever.
Exactly.
They left the barricade in my way.
And then once they get, like, I mean, once you get a little bit in there, you're going to notice your car's having trouble, right? Like,
Yeah. You should be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be here. Nah.
Twitter user Jumptronic simply said, "Driving is hard."
Yes, it is.
We need a new play. Love it.
Another one. God. Let me fix something
The
here real
Thanos
quick.
we deserve.
Exactly. All right. I gotta fix something here real quick.
Yeah, at some point it's just like, fuck it. I'm already screwed. We're just going.
Right.
Yeah.
Hell with it.
All right, I got it fixed. Oh, here we go. Boom. So our next question here, and I think we're back up to Abs. Do you road rage?
Yes. I do. But it's a very for the most part, I do like if I said no, like my girlfriend would call me out on it.
Mhm.
But no, I absolutely do road rage. For the most part though, it's very like suppressed road rage, like fuck you, sir, and just kind of like keep driving. So, Aerolot can confirm. I absolutely drew, but I try to not get ridiculous about it.
How about you, Tom? Are you a road rager?
The only time I really get mad is if somebody like does something that would cause me to get into an accident if I didn't respond like reflexively and appropriately. Like I don't know, like I get pretty frustrated when people like turn out, and people do this in girls so much. Just blitz stop signs and turn out in front of you. It's like I don't have a stop sign, and if I didn't treat this like it was a four-way stop, I would have just gotten into an accident. There's an intersection not a block from my house that people don't even slow down for the stop sign. And my commute to work, I don't have a stop sign there, but I always come to a full stop because it saved me three accidents so far. None of them would have been my fault, but I don't feel like ruining my day by having to stop and doing a frickin' insurance claim.
All right, Jason, how do you feel about road raging? Are you a road rager?
I don't really road rage. I do, like, I get really fucking mad sometimes, especially like what Tom pointed out. If somebody runs an area that's clearly they have a fucking stop sign, like, and almost T-bone me or hit me, I'm really fucking angry for like a few minutes, but I usually let it go mostly because like I've been in an accident and it was terrifying. And I didn't really blame the other person, you know, after all said and done, like, and they run a red light when they hit us. But I don't know. I still like, I don't want to be the guy that flips off the dude and then gets murdered for it.
Yeah.
That's a good philosophy.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the most scared and the most pissed I've ever been at another motorist was I was longboarding to a meeting with my advisor and went through an intersection with no stop sign for me with a car right behind me, and then a semi, or no, not a semi, it was like a U-Haul, like a large truck just came barreling through, and I like bailed off my longboard and had to come to a running stop and like almost got run over by the car behind me, and if I hadn't bailed I would have gotten plastered by this truck, and I was livid because they almost killed me.
Right. If I have nothing to do for the day, I'll follow people that piss me off.
Damn, you're the guy I'm fucking scared of.
Yeah.
I tried to do that once. Erla actually just brought that up.
I followed a guy once to, like, he went and pulled into his own driveway, and then, like, I just stopped in front of his house and rolled down my window and gave him the, like, point eye thing, where you, like, fucking, you're like, I know what you did, I saw you, and then I drove off, right? Like, I'm all like, hey, fucking scared that son of a bitch.
Yeah, right.
At that, and I manage my my anger all the time by casually flipping people off that sometimes don't deserve it, right? Like, like people walking down the street, I'm just like, hey, as I'm driving, like, woo! Also, it makes Kathy nervous, so it's funny.
Oh, yeah, that's hilarious.
That's not good.
I roll down the window and I'm just like, I fly the bird above the car and shit like that, like, woo! Anyway. All right. Let's see what the chat said here. I saw stuff about bicyclists. Sugar Selkie dislikes bicyclists. The best part about that is you totally are in the right to be angry at them if they're riding in the road. It states in the driver's manual that a vehicle that can't maintain the speed of traffic must pull over in order to allow traffic to continue at the normal speed. So therefore, anyone who's riding their bike in the road, while they have the right to do it, must pull over in order to allow traffic to continue.
Agreed.
I will say, I say
that as a cyclist. I do that literally every time.
I get so fucking mad when people drive like 15 under the speed limit.
Right.
Yep.
Oh,
I got shit to do. Get out of my fucking way.
All right. Here's that story I told you about, Jason. Here it comes. It's time. So
that's a thumbnail.
Exactly.
This is an ominous thumbnail.
A 33-year-old.
Yeah, this is really bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's kind of a follow-up to a story we covered before. So a 33-year-old man that was engaged by the Tripura government to dispel rumors about child abductors on social media was lynched by villagers who ironically took him to be the kidnapper.
India! Stop!
Right, exactly.
India, are you okay?
Right.
No, they're no.
We need to have a talk.
Okay.
Just recently,
You need a hug?
we covered a story about how a couple of guys were brutally beaten and murdered because they were like filmmakers wandering through a small rural town that had been hit by their social media WhatsApp, right? And they were scared to death by a viral fake news post that was telling everyone that that there were child abductors in the area, and because they were so scared, a whole bunch of these citizens from a little town beat these guys to death. So the government started hiring people to try to start dispelling this rumor. So the villagers hung that guy because they thought he was the child abductor. It's
God damn it.
It's fucked up, but it's chuckling me so hard. I'm trying to be serious here, but fuck, man.
Yeah, seriously.
Factual Fiction says you're the only person around that might have any knowledge of the events in my town. That means you're guilty. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like Wicker Man levels of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. How to get burned?
Yeah.
Right.
You're just looking at my face, Tom.
Sakuta Chakrabarti, who had been moving from village to village with a loudspeaker, asking people not to get swayed by the rumors, was caught and then beaten to death. 2 other men who were accompanying Chakrabarti were also assaulted. The vehicle that they were traveling in was also damaged. The incident took place when Chakrabarti and his companions reached the village of Kalachera in the evening. Local youth then attacked them on suspicions of them being the child thieves. Yeah, that's how it goes. But yeah, so it's kind of a fucked up story, so we won't spend too much time on it. And now, we're going to be talking about a hilarious fucking situation. So, a Polish charity has received a huge phone bill after it lost a GPS tracker that it had placed on the back of a stork. So,
oh man.
According to the broadcaster Radio Poland, in the environmental group Ecologic, placed a tracker on the back of a white stork last year to track the bird's migratory habits. It traveled 3,700 miles and was tracked to the Blue Nile Valley in eastern Sudan before the charity lost contact. Whoops.
Oh, them some Roman charges.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that was what they were planning on it, right? Ecologic told the Super Express newspaper that someone found the tracker, removed the SIM card, and then put it in their cell phone, where they then racked up 20 hours worth of phone calls. Somebody caught a stork and was all like, free cell phone.
That's amazing.
I am so impressed. I don't want to be.
Yeah.
The Radio Poland says that the organization received a phone bill of over 10,000 Polish zloty, which is $2,700 or 2,064 pounds, of which it will have to pay. The stork tagging plays an important role in environmentalist research and conservation of migratory birds, and the data from micro GPS trackers can be used to help scientists assess birds' habits. Although the white stork is not currently at risk, industrialization may affect this, pushing the species towards extinction in Europe. But, yeah, so...
Yeah, all of this just sounds like how little we give a shit about nature. Just, oh, that's stork. That stork has something on... it's a SIM card!
Right, exactly.
It's fucking amazing, actually.
Oh my god.
I
don't got any funny jokes. That's just fucking ridiculous.
Right,
yeah,
Stores deliver cell phones instead of babies now.
Exactly.
It's 2018.
Right.
Weightless Wonder says, how bad were the roaming charges? Well, about $2,700 for 20 minutes of calling. Like, that's pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know why there's a blank space here, but we're going to move past that, and we're going to go to true crime. So I removed the sound until I can figure out why it keeps playing through the rest of the episode. Exactly. And we're going to get into our first true crime story here.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
It's the Crypt Keeper.
So this...
I feel like that Drake meme.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So this 92-year-old Arizona woman allegedly shot and killed her 72-year-old son after he tried to put her in an assisted living home, police have said.
Put me in a nursing home, will you?
Exactly. Our officers arrived at Anna Mae Blessing's home in Fountain Hills, Arizona.
Did I just hear anime blessings?
Exactly.
Anime blessing.
That's
Oh.
I didn't put that together, although now I have it, and I can't I can't unhear it. Fuck.
Amazing.
Her name is Anna Mae Blessings. Holy shit. I'm now... This entire story is in question to me now. Right? Nani? They found her son, Thomas Blessing, dead on the floor of the master bedroom with a gunshot wound to the neck and jaw, according to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office.
She's like, subs are better than dubs!
Squabbly has just said that if he has a daughter, he's going to name it Anna Mae, which...
Yes!
That needs to happen now, like, for everybody. We should have an entire, like, that should be a problem for the next generation, is everyone having the first name Anna and the middle name Mae. Rain Charna says, my ex-sister-in-law's name is Anna Mae. The rest of the story isn't really important now. Like,
anime is real!
Although I will say, I would, before we discovered the beautiful significance of her name,
right,
totally would have sided with the grandma on this. No, you're not putting me in a home!
Right.
I still think they were arguing about dubs and subs.
Police said that they found a... God damn it.
You need a Crunchyroll password!
I made that joke once already!
God damn it. I told you we're not watching your garbage fucking Naruto in this house anymore, you piece of shit.
This is a Sailor Moon home!
Exactly. We only watch true anime.
Get out of here with your cowboy bebop.
Alright, well, we're gonna move on. So, rush hour traffic along Crowchild Trail in Southwest was disrupted Wednesday afternoon when a naked man driving a Canada Post truck hit several vehicles before running into a convenience store. According to Calgary police, the call came in shortly before 5 p.m. when several people reported the Canada Post vehicle driving erratically along Crowchild Trail. The vehicle allegedly struck up to 8 vehicles before the driver exited the Canada Post truck and went into a nearby convenience store. The driver, described as a white male in his mid-20s, was not wearing any clothing. The man was taken into custody soon after exiting the convenience store, and EMS was called to assess his condition. It's not known whether or not the driver is an employee of Canada Post or whether the vehicle was stolen. Despite the traffic snarls caused by the crash, the disrobed disturbance seemed to bring some levity to people on social media.
Oh, Canada.
Exactly. And that's the important part. This all happened on the 4th of July, and it's not in the U.S.
The Americanism is spreading.
Exactly. This guy he caught a case of freedom and just took it a little bit too far.
Hey, a little too far. It happened a day after Canada Day, though, right?
Is July 3rd Canada Day?
I think so, or maybe it's second.
To the Google mobile. July 1st.
Okay.
Okay, 3
No,
days.
Just
it's
ago.
Googled it.
So
No,
about a Canadian
the
that
first.
don't know about their stupid
You
name.
have Google, damn it.
What were you saying, Jason?
Oh, I'm not Canadian, so I don't know when their maple syrup holidays are. But
Right.
real holidays are on July 4th.
Exactly.
I wonder if there's a maple syrup day.
Oh,
Monday, December 17th is maple syrup day in the U.S.
Oh,
Hell yes.
All right.
wait, what about Canada? Every fucking day, bro.
They call that Tuesday.
Yeah, you say.
All right.
How can we... Okay, are we... Okay, never mind. Go.
Our next story here is about a very short crime spree. So a man broke into a Walmart, inhaled cans of air freshener, and then left the store and promptly passed out in front of the Walmart early Monday, according to the Prince William County Police. Okay. Nope, go ahead.
Never mind.
Nope.
No, I was gonna ask a question, but no, we're good.
Shortly after 4 a.m., police responded to a burglary at a Walmart in Jefferson Davis's highway location. Overnight employees said that an unknown man was seen walking around the business after closing hours, and police found him outside, incapacitated out in front of the business. Their investigation found that he entered the store through a narrow opening and stole several cans of air freshener and inhaled all of them, presumably for a buzz.
Did this dude like crawling through an air vent?
Yeah, pretty much, right?
That's what it sounds like.
Solid Snake has fallen on hard times.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, look at this.
After he was found, he was taken to a hospital as a precaution, then taken to jail. But Sugar Selkie says, why can't this happen, or why can this never happen at my Walmart? Squabbly then says, you can make it happen. When I was working at one of the places I used to work at was a like ink cartridge manufacturing place, and we had to change our policy on who could use the bathroom. After there was a lady in the front who came in, was looking around. She grabbed a cartridge, put it on the counter, and said, "Oh, can I use the restroom really quick?" And then we let her use the restroom. So you have to pay before you use the restroom now. But she went into the restroom, and then we forgot about her because we weren't paying that much attention. And then we started to smell, right? We're like,
Oh no!
Why does everything smell so damned fresh, right? She had gone into the restroom and huffed the entire like air spray canister we had to make it so that it doesn't smell so bad when you take shit.
Oh, that is so fucking gross.
Yeah, and then she passed out for like 4 hours in the fucking
At least
bathroom.
she had fresh breath.
Yeah.
True that shit. It smelled like lavender and potpourri.
Right, exactly. It was a what's that called? Like it was summer fresh nightmare, basically. So
Summer fresh nightmare.
All right, and here's that one that I was telling you about.
Fucking dope.
So a couple that was suspectedly high on bath salts thought that fireflies were green lasers from aliens and are accused of breaking into 2 homes in Clinton County last weekend, state police say. Catherine McCloskey, 22, and Jesse Shields, 30, both of Mill Hall, told police that they spent Friday night driving a pickup truck around the Longton Beach area of Clinton County. After dark, they started seeing green lights similar to fireflies. McCloskey told police that they knew they were not lightning bugs because they were blinking twice. So Shields grabbed a 350. Shields grabbed a .357 Magnum belonging to McCloskey's father, got out, and fired to scare off whoever it was messing with them at 12:37 a.m. Saturday. They then ran to a nearby home on Log Run Road in Lamar, TWP. He was met at the door by the homeowner, who he asked to call the police. While talking on the phone, Neff told investigators he saw Shields use a pistol to smash the window in the screen door and come inside. After waiting for 20 minutes for the police, Shields walked and McCloskey drove to a neighbor's house, he told police. The neighbors, Gary and Glenna Emmel, said they were awakened by someone screaming from inside of their house. They said that they discovered Shields in their living room yelling about being attacked and to call 911. McCloskey was crying, they said. While the homeowner's wife was calling 911, the homeowner was able to get the gun from Shields. While in the home, Shields asked to take a shower to get the goo off of him that was burning his skin. And Shields was charged with burglary, criminal trespass, possession of a firearm without a license, possession of a controlled substance and paraphernalia, reckless endangerment, criminal mischief, public intoxication, and disorderly conduct. They were both placed in prison on $250,000 bail.
Holy shit, that's a huge bail. But it makes sense.
All right. Squabbly says, "Oh shit, they were blinking twice. 2 blinks, shoot that motherfucker." Let's see. Factual reflection reflection says blink once for yes, twice for 357.
Yeah. I like blink once for yes, 2 for no, and then Magras is like, yes.
Excellent. All right, we're going to skip this next discussion question, and we're going to move into cool stories because we are running out of time for the episode. It's been too good of conversation today.
Wait, can I bring up one thing that we didn't talk about, I think, that needs to be mentioned?
Yes.
This is the real fucking crime today, guys. And I just found out about this earlier today.
All right.
I forgot about it till now. Costco has removed the Polish dog.
What?
For fucking real. Today was the last day. Not even fucking with you. They also got rid of like the berry smoothie or whatever.
I've like literally never been to a Costco that I remember being in.
Oh, okay. Well, to those of us who go to Costco,
are you okay, Uno?
We're super good.
The hot dog is the fucking kosher dog is the shit, and it's like $1.50 for that and a Coke. Like it's been like that since we were kids.
I've been to Costco like 5 times in my life, and just like I don't remember being there or anything about it.
Oh yeah, I can't spend less than like $300.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I can get a crate of beef jerky.
It's like when you need 400,000 pounds of dog food.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're gonna move into happy stories here. Now, so we can recover from the Costco tragedies. So, are you guys familiar with the plight of the northern white rhino?
Yes. How is this happy?
Yeah. And how
it might be doing better.
There's what, four females left, and the last male passed away a little while ago.
Yep.
Yep. But so it turns out that science may be able to save them. They actually have frozen sperm and have found a way to use the southern white rhino to foster use them for surrogates. So the science believes that they're going to be able to bring back the northern white rhino, which is
nice.
Cool.
That's amazing.
Shit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go science.
Exactly. But they need to definitely, just like the Aerolot mentioning Jurassic Park there, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it, dude.
They need to build those fucking like rhino enclosures, like for like a T-Rex, and shoot anyone who doesn't have the right pass to be in there.
Yeah, really though.
Oh man, are they gonna start selling rhino semen encased in tree sap? Souvenirs.
I mean, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Multiple teams are now working collaboratively on high-tech options for bringing back the northern white rhino, which is now functionally extinct, There's so it's only 2 females, a mother-daughter pair named Najin and Fatu, who are alive in the conservatory. But
I feel like even if they don't go extinct, they are going to have some severe inbreeding problems.
yes.
But I don't. Yeah, there's no other way to say them, right?
Yeah.
Actually, if they're doing it from the other white rhinos, right, the south ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might
That-
work.
That
Right.
might,
Oh, I was thinking it was.
It
Okay.
might create a new kind of white rhino, though. Right?
That's what I was just thinking too. Is if you find it, because I'm kind of wondering I don't know what the difference is of the location.
right.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
Well, if they can get
it'll be called the central white.
The central white.
To
The
quote the
central
wise,
the off-white, right?
Yeah.
the beige
It's an
rhino.
eggshell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If they can get a viable male sample, right? Which is you know, it'll be northern white rhino and part southern white rhino. It can then breed with the remaining white rhinos, and therefore they would get 3/4 white rhinos, and it will be slightly interbred northern white rhino. So it should be fine.
Well, wasn't the issue like they wouldn't fuck each other?
Yeah.
Like that was the problem.
Yep.
So we're like, you are trying to kill yourselves. We're going to force this to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically,
yeah.
science is the Bachelorette on this one. Yeah.
Meet your new husband in the test tube.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I'd rather see like the mix though or whatever than to see just like the last 2 of one like species die out. So
yeah.
Erlot
of
says,
course.
okay, but like, who's the poor sap that had to go in and get that sample in the first place?
Right?
that's a question I don't want to think about.
Yeah. I'm not going to think about that.
Snap.
That was
Yeah.
that was intern Steve.
The rhino
No.
jerker.
Exactly.
No, the rhino
Rhino
wrangler.
jerk.
The rhino wrangler.
Lurian Stora says, well, the other part of this is that you would put the other 2 remaining females at risk. I mean, yep.
True.
It's either that or we just watch them all die. So, I mean,
Yeah.
there's lots of situations. Erlot says, put that on your resume. Well,
Yeah.
What do you do, Steve? I'm a rhino wrangler. What does that entail? No.
Wait, I'll talk about the
I-
details.
I jerked the last remaining deceased white rhino male.
Good God.
So, an exciting new report shows that Sweden has installed so much wind power, the country is now 12 years ahead of its schedule for renewable energy goals.
Cool.
Woo!
By the end of 2018, the Nordic nation will have installed over 3,861 turbines with 7,506 megawatts of wind capacity being added through December. The amount is roughly 18 terawatt hours annually, according to data from the Swedish Wind Energy Association that reported to Bloomberg. The surge in wind power means that Sweden will be on track to meet their 2013 clean energy goals by the end of this year. Or 2030 clean energy goals. So 18 years, or 12 years ahead of the schedule.
That's fucking amazing.
Pretty damn cool. Descendant Cobra says, woo, go Sweden. Witless
So it'll
one.
be a total power snob about my field.
Yep.
750 megawatts is less than the capacity of one current-sized 3,000 megawatt 3,000 megawatt thermal plant that'll put out around a gigawatt of power.
That's
All right, question. For
7,506
those of us
megawatts.
that don't understand that,
Yeah,
how many Walmarts are we talking about?
3 Walmarts.
So many.
3? Okay, that's all right. That's not
3
much
whole
better.
Walmart.
But no, it's not 750, it's 7,500. If I said that, I misspoke.
Oh, I thought it was 750 megawatts.
No, 7,500.
Oh,
megawatts.
okay, wow, okay.
Yep.
That is a fuckload of power, especially from
Is
wind.
it? Cool.
Yeah, that's actually like, if it's 7,500 megawatt electric, that's like 7-8 full-size nuclear power plants.
Right.
That's a lot of fucking power.
All right, so this next story, I think that there's new royalty in Norway, but these divers found a sword in Lake Mjosa in Norway's largest lake, that may have belonged may have belonged to a powerful person in the 1500s.
That's bad fucking ass, dude.
Right, exactly. So they found a over 500-year-old sword, and
That's so cool.
they said that they've mostly found trash up until now. Miro, who found the sword, realized quickly that it was a sword when he found it. The local newspaper, the Opland Arbeiderblad, was the first to report the story. After discovering the sword, the two divers took it to Mjøs Museum. The museum's director, Arne Julsrud Berg, said that there were indicators on the sword that it was around 500 years old, and the location of its discovery suggests that it may have been aboard a boat. One theory suggests that it may have been a battle sword. Two-handed swords like this were commonly used in wars or battles in the 1500s. The second theory is that the sword's original use could be that for executions. So, yep. One of these three guys is
one of our guys misbehaved on the boat.
Exactly.
Gotta have this on hand just in case.
Listen, we're all the way out here on this lake. We could put you in prison, but we're just gonna have to kill you.
It was Sean Bean's sword from
It's the prison boat.
GOT. Yeah.
Rip Ned Stark.
They ran from the wall.
So this is the first baby picture I've ever cared about. Two papers released this week by the European Southern Observatory and soon to be published in the Journal of Astronomy and Astrophysics has revealed that astronomers led by the Max Planck Institute for Astronomy and Heidelberg, Germany, have captured the first confirmed image of a planet's birth.
Cool.
The impressive snapshot shows that the information of a young planet named PDS-70b emerging from a dwarf star, PDS-70.
That's amazing.
Right. The pictures clearly reveals PDS-70's sculpted transition disk and inner gaps stipulated by scientists for decades as being the byproduct of disk-planet interactions. The image marks the first time a newly birthed planet has ever been seen.
That's fucking cool.
Yep. Aerolot was very excited about it being a black hole, but it's not, unfortunately.
Planet sex.
Wow.
All right. And so here is something that I found that was neat as fuck. When passengers aboard flights in Dubai International Airport are served in-flight meals that include salads or greens atop sandwiches. These crops usually come from traditional outdoor farms in the United Arab Emirates. But by 2020, flights taking off from the airport will be served greens and herbs grown from a more high-tech source. Emirates Flight Catering, EKFC, one of the world's largest airline catering operators, and Crop One Holdings, a San Francisco Bay Area food startup, are building a massive vertical farm to supply crops for in-flight meals. Yep.
Okay, I thought it was going to be a hydroponic setup that flew in the plane with them.
Yeah, me too, for a second. I was like, that has so many problems.
Yeah, I was going to say that is such a fucking waste of resources to lift that
Wonder
in the
just
air.
pointed out that this is, in fact, EKFC.
Nice.
Right. It sounds
That's
like internet
cool,
chicken. Right, exactly. Airlines and other international airlines at Dubai International Airport, which is the world's largest airport by passenger traffic, located in Dubai, the 130,000 square foot indoor farm will produce up to 6,000 pounds of greens and herbs every day. Unlike traditional outdoor farms, Crop One grows crops year-round under LEDs. Inside climate-controlled rooms, which are each set to optimal temperatures and oxygen levels depending on the crop. Instead of soil, greens sprout in nutrient-rich water beds on trays stacked from the floor to the ceiling. So yeah, it's going to be a super awesome vertical farm growing so much food it won't even make any sense. It'll just be so much.
That's really cool.
Nice.
Yep. But okay, so it is 9 o'clock. We're gonna have to skip Florida Man today. We'll do that one on next Tuesday. There's all sorts of great stuff there. But I definitely want to show you guys some of the couple of items that I got for stupid shit for sale. All right. So our first item up is actually something that we've never done before. It's coming from Kickstarter. So this is amazing. It's called the Air Bonsai. And it is a floating bonsai sphere.
Yeah, they're the shit.
That uses magnets to propel a ball of growing fertile soil, right, into the air that you get to take care of. And they're called bonsai stars. And they grow stuff. It's fucking amazing. I want one of these so bad.
I need one of these.
Right?
But I'm gonna kill it if it's real bonsai.
Exactly. It's like, fuck, now I have to learn how to take care of bonsais.
So these are really popular. These already exist.
Right, but yeah, exactly. They succeeded on Kickstarter, but you can pre-order it through the Kickstarter still.
No, I mean, like, this has been going on with other companies for like a while.
Has it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
If you just Google, the first time I saw it was like several years ago, but I was looking to get a bonsai, and it's a magnetic, like, potted rock.
Right.
Right. I think they're called or something like that.
Okay.
I think that's what they're called, right? And you do bonsai and stuff.
I think the tech has been around for sure. It might be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. There's
like,
it's like there's stuff on Alibaba and stuff. Yeah.
But yeah.
Well.
Oh, this is so pretty.
Exactly. Well, you know what? If there's cheaper versions,
but it's still cool as fuck.
Yeah, I'm just saying if there's cheaper versions, we should totally find them and get lots of them. But
yeah,
I just
You
discovered
can
this
get
today.
a moss ball for $15.
Exactly. All right, Abby, have you ever said to yourself, "These noodles are hard"? Have you ever been like, "Shit, this cup of noodles is so hella complicated"?
No, because I've never actually eaten cup noodles.
What?
What the fuck? What the fuck kind of college student are you?
Oh my god.
It's kind of a rite of passage at this point.
You're coming over and I'm making you some fucking ramen.
I'm never coming over to your house again.
I make good ramen, thank you.
But as far as actual pasta, maybe, yes. Sure. That should be a big inconvenience.
Right.
What are you selling me to fix my problem?
Well, this has nothing to do with normal noodles. It's 4 cup of noodles specifically. But this is a temperature-sensitive cup noodle lid holder. So you put this little man on top of your cup of noodles, and then it gets all heated up as your cup of noodles gets ready. And then by the time he falls off, your noodles are ready.
That's so fucking amazing.
I mean,
freaking love that.
I feel like it pales in comparison to learning that there's someone who hasn't had a cup of noodles. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Don't worry, you aren't banned from the show. You actually,
Yes, she is.
You've just cemented your position as an interesting person because now we can say you're the one who's never had cup of noodle.
Yeah.
See, Tom, you can never feed that to me because that will make me uninteresting. I finally got my interesting award.
I'm going to leave cup of noodles all around site, just in places so that you'll see them.
That's amazing.
No.
At some point, you should try. The chicken cup of noodles is fucking amazing.
They smell so bad though. When
Abby,
people microwave them.
No,
Val
they smell like.
Val just needs to come to the brothel soup shop.
No, that's never gonna happen ever for so many reasons.
Cup of noodles smells like income equality, but it tastes like capitalism. It's fucking amazing.
Fuck.
Oh my god.
All right, well, everybody, it's 9:05. That is episode number 65. Abby, thank you very much for joining us today. It was super fun. I'm super glad that you were able to come when I was just like, hey, Harry, you want to be on the show? And you were all like, yes.
I was like, hell yeah. I was so excited. Thank you.
And Tom and Jason, thank you guys very much. You fucking...
Thanks for having
you
us.
steadfast bastards. It's I'm always excited when we get through an episode and I have to cut content because it means that we had enough fun, right? So it's a mark of a successful episode when I have to skip something. So nobody feel bad about anything that happened today. But let's take a look.
I will never feel bad about anime.
Ooh, fuck, man. Anime, Jeebus.
Anime.
That's pretty amazing.
Anime blessing.
Honestly, my face usually hurts by the end of an episode from grinning so goddamn much.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a look to see. It's Thursday. Let's check out talk shows. So I went back and I looked. It looks like mostly Thursdays we go check to see if there's anybody who doesn't suck. Because then Tuesday we go find a game. I'm seeing... I don't trust anything called The Call. That seems like it could be a problem. There's a show called Keep Calm and Game On. There's one called Tired But Not Dead America with a dude named Colt Eagleman. What the fuck is going on? There's one called Road to 1776. What the fuck?
Oh my god, what?
All right, let's check out Road to... Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, he's offline now? No, wait. What?
Oh, wow. This guy's a winner already.
What are you doing, buddy?
America hat.
That.
He looks CGI.
He does.
Yeah, it's weird how he did the cut.
We're going to make America great again.
Joe, I'm fat now.
Thank you for the sub, man. I'm trying to set this new game.
I was
and set up
misogynistic conservative.
everything is going.
Fuck.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like it's a little bit too politically charged. I mean, I don't care what your fucking shit is, but when you're that politically charged, that seems like a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Everything's Now show. The 5th of July special. He's wearing a George Washington wig. Let's see. What's this guy doing? What?
Kona!
Is it? Oh, God.
Oh, it's dog time.
I think 7 is the...
Hi, Kona!
It's gonna be karaoke.
Followed by 5. No, 1.
Vote to torture. Make him eat. We're doing this, dude. They've got like a thing where you can vote what they're doing. This is awesome. All right, let's do it. All right, raid. And remember, everybody, vote for fucking amazing shit.
Just then it came out, what the fuck?
Oh, shit. I hope these guys know what's coming. They don't. They don't know what's coming.
They don't.
But all right, everybody, thanks for joining us. Episode number 65. It was super awesome. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. And once again, thank you guys for joining me.
Have a great night, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.